Teddy Petkova, welcome to this studio. So good to have you. I feel like the stars have aligned because we've been wanting to do this for a while, but you are here with me in person in studio, so welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
It's lovely seeing you.
So for those who don't know, Teddy is Senior Product Manager at Midoki, and we're going to be sort of diving into things. So I mentioned to you before, we hit record, you wear many hats. You've worn many hats. You've been, you're currently product manager, but you've been in live ops, you've been in game development, you've kind of across the board. So I want you, for my first question, to sort of imagine a scenario where a studio's most successful game has sort of experienced a 30% drop in user engagement. What do they do? How would you go about diagnosing the problem? And then how would you then go about solving the problem? What steps would you take?
Mm-hmm. So I think the first response would probably be panic internally for about 2 seconds. And then obviously putting your product hat on. So first step is really diagnosing the issue. Where did the drop occur? Is it DAO, MAO? Is it session related stuff? Is it retention specific? Is it affecting revenue and how much? Because it will likely affect revenue.
Right.
And then I would start looking at particular segments. Are we talking about an issue that's affecting particular regions, particular install sources? Is it related to whether or not you're a spender or not a spender, if you're a new user or some elder player that has played the game for 5 years already? And then I would probably start looking at in-game analytics for more specific stuff. Is it game stability that's affecting things? Is it anything to do with matchmaking, server clusters, anything else that you can kind of think about, or particularly event specific?
And I guess that's why you said it's so important to have a good data analytics team behind you to sort of solve these issues and help you solve these issues.
Yes, as a product manager, your job is to ask a lot of questions, but also usually come with a little bit of a hypothesis to things like this. So you kind of have something set in your mind, and it's important to have an analytics team to back you up and take away that kind of hereditary thinking and be like, okay, it could be that, but it could be something completely separate, and we're going to have a blank slate to start with. And when it comes to actually solving the issue, I would say, firstly, we're prioritizing high impact, low effort stuff.
Right.
So, for example, if we pushed out a bug and that's completely broken the game, then we're pushing out a hotfix ASAP. If it's a new feature that is just not performing as well as we expected and is hurting the game, then we need to rebalance, again, as soon as possible.
Right.
But it could also be something more midterm or long-term. So is it the content cadence? Is it general fatigue? Then maybe we need to reassess how we're putting out content, whether it's shape or acceleration, for example. But it could also be the way we're working and what we're managing to miss. At the end of the day, it's really important to keep player feedback in mind, and that might be one of the hardest things to do, while also keeping business goals in mind.
Absolutely. So it's funny you mentioned player feedback, because that leads me into my next question quite nicely. So obviously player feedback is super important to game development. Can you recall a time where player feedback that you've received or you've perhaps heard has shifted the product roadmap? And how have you sort of done that sort of balancing act where you're able to stay true to the product but also take into consideration what users have said?
Yeah, I have a pretty good example from when I was moving from a live ops role towards a product role. It was probably very much a learning experience, so to say, kind of hard on the ground. And we had a set roadmap that was produced by someone else. I joined, I ran with it. Obviously, we started designing the feature, implementing it. We were super happy with it. We thought, oh my God, this is going to do great. Like, it looks so good. It could be this amazing thing for players. What we missed was gathering a really good quantitative data from players and actually speaking to them. So once we launched the feature, it did not reach expectations. Overall, our adoption rates weren't amazing. The revenue wasn't hitting the goals that we had set ourselves. So we just had to take a step back, huddle with the team and start thinking where did we go wrong? We had the community management reach out to players, get that feedback really from specific players, because also we targeted a specific group, which was the elder players, for a game that was 5 or 6 years old at the time. So we had some people that were very used to the game and they had expectations. And that's normal, that's live ops. So we sat down, we thought about it, we found another way to approach it, and we changed our course, so to say. It did mean that we had to make some considerations for the next year, because we already had a plan of how we're going to continue this feature. So there was some content that needed to be reprioritized. Some things went on the back burner, but we made it work and we still reached our revenue goals in the end, even though we had a little bit of a blurb moment.
Amazing. A success story. I love to hear it. Teddy, thank you so much for your time and thank you for joining me today.
Thank you very much.